Happy Stuff and Fluff is 12 months old. Hi, my name's L Conroy. Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff, a channel for women over 50 who are getting happy and growing younger. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so and remember to hit the little bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. So, happy birthday, Happy Stuff and Fluff. I can't believe it's been 12 months and I've loved every minute of it, despite the fact that it can be very frustrating at times, especially when you're not kind of particularly technically oriented, as I'm not, and so I've had lots of trial and error and learning as I go along, and I'm still learning because there is so much to learn. And I might just say, if any of you are considering your own channel, I came into it totally naively. There is a lot of work involved. The best bit, of course, is actually the content, but it's also the most difficult bit too, because I'm always trying to think of something to talk to you about that you're going to find useful every week. You know, I know, obviously, clearly, I'm a woman over 52. I mean, over 52. And so I know the kind of things that would help me, but sometimes, because that's what I'm here for. That's what the channel's all about, finding things that are going to help you to get happy and grow younger. So that's the challenging part, but also the best part, and I have loved every minute of it. And I'm going to do a giveaway, but I just want to tell you a little story, something that I've just been doing. As you know, those of you who've been with me a while, we have just moved house from, 4 months ago, from the country to the city. And during that whole story, there's been lots of coincidences happen and serendipity and all kinds of interesting, strange things that have kind of helped us to move along, if you will. One of them is this story. The people who actually bought our house were a couple that I like to think we actually chose to buy. I know this is going to sound ridiculous before I even say it, but I knew when we put that house up for sale that I wasn't going to let anybody buy it that I didn't really like. And fortunately, some couples came round who were okay, but then when this particular young couple came in, I knew straight away I wanted them to buy it. And as it turned out, they also fell in love with the house and wanted to buy it, and so that was lucky. Also, the house was very old, and we thought it would take a long time, to thrash out things like, structural issues or anything like that. So we thought we had a long time the process would be a long time. It wasn't. It happened very quickly. And of course, also during that time, Charlotte became very ill. And so the actual house moving kind of took a back seat. But of course, every now and then I think, we really must think of where we want to go and where we're going to move to. And then we had a conversation where whenever we come into the city to eat, we'd always said, it would be nice at some point to have a place in the city perhaps. So we toyed with that idea a little bit. So we started to look for apartments online, but it's not something I enjoy doing. And we were looking through them, we couldn't find anything we liked, and the ones we did like were far too expensive and so on, and so I would stop looking. But time went on, and then we saw one. We thought, right, we better go and have a look at this because we do need to move. So that very weekend, the couple who were buying the house asked could they bring their family to see the house too. So they came and they were having a look round, and she said, where are you going to move to? And I told her we didn't know, and I said, incidentally, we're going to look at an apartment in the city in this particular area. Do you know anything about this area? And she said, that's where we live. That's where we live. That building is just behind the building we're in. And then she asked us, what kind of apartment are you looking for? And we told her, and she said, come and have a look at our apartment. It's exactly what you're looking for. So we came to the city. The minute we walked into the apartment, we knew it was for us, and that was that. So they moved into our house and we moved into theirs, which was quite interesting. And So we're kind of the oldies moving into the city, which is apparently a trend at the moment, and our local newspaper caught hold of the fact that we'd moved from the country into the city and asked could they come to talk to us about it, which they did. But when they heard the story that we'd literally done a life swap, if you like, I like to say it's the young people have gone to live in the old house and the old people have come to live in the new one. It's not quite like that, but so they wanted to do a bigger story. There is a point to be telling you this because that's what we've been doing this afternoon. So they wanted to do a bigger story, and the couple who bought our house agreed it would be fun to do. So they just said, we'll send a photographer around. You'll take a photograph of sort of me and Mr. Kitchen in our apartment and the other couple in the house. So Mr. Kitchen agreed to it because he hates having his photograph taken. And I don't really like it, but really Mr. Kitchen does not like having his photograph taken. But he agreed to do it. So the photographer's just been, and I promise you, we've been posing for over an hour. He had us looking into each other's eyes, holding hands on the balcony, gazing into the distance, skipping across the grass at the front. Okay, well, not quite skipping, but walking across the grass at the front. And then he did this thing, the photographer where they get down on the floor and he's saying things like, keep walking, and he's taking pictures. Well, I looked at Mr. Kitchen's face, which had written all over it, "What have you done to me again? Why do I always listen to you? What am I doing here? And what is this man doing on the floor?" Oh, it was just so funny. I just collapsed with laughter. It was just great fun. Granted, most of it at Mr. Kitchen's discomfort. But he was a great photographer, and I desperately hope he got some decent photographs because Mr. Kitchen was really out of his comfort zone but did incredibly well, and it was just so funny. So that's what we've just done, and that's going to go into the local newspaper. When it comes out, I will find a way to show you. Might be able to do it digitally, or at least show you the pictures when they come out. So that's how I've spent this afternoon. And of course the rain came down and it was windy and just made me laugh so much. Okay, so back to happy stuff and fluff then. And it's great to be able to share stories like that with you too. The fluff part of happy stuff and fluff. Okay, so what's in the giveaway then? Well, first of all, I'd like to include this meditation journal. This isn't the exact same one, but this is a meditation journal that I created for myself to begin with because I meditate, and you'll know if you're a beginner at meditation or a seasoned meditator that your mind, when you sit to meditate, your mind starts to wander. Well, I want to use meditation to help me in my life off the seat, as it were, in my real life. And so what used to happen to me was I would start to meditate and I'd have a thought come up, and then perhaps in another meditation the same thought would come up, and then the same. And so I started to write these thoughts down, thinking if these thoughts keep coming up, I need to do something about them. So I started to, after the meditation, I would write down any of the thoughts that had come up during meditation, and anything I thought I needed to work on in reality and in real life, I would work on. And eventually those particular thoughts would stop coming up in the meditation because I'd clearly dealt with them. And so very often anything that's repeated that keeps coming up, it's good to have a look at and say, well, I clearly need to do something about it. And so that's what this meditation will help you to do. Meditation journal will help you to do. It says it's for beginners, but that's simply because it's a simple journal. It literally has lines for you to write in, to record the time, the date and the duration. There's a few quotations in there to keep you moving along, and also an action steps. So write down the thought and then consider the actions you need to take to try and work through that particular issue and put those action steps down. And if you've got that recorded, you can always come back to see how much progress you've made. So I'm going to include that in the giveaway. Also, it goes without saying that the Stitch on Silver Linings is going to be included. I'm going to sign this, but what I will do, because I know quite a few of you have bought the book already, thank you very much for that. So what I'll do is I'll wait until the winner's been chosen and I've contacted you, and then you can tell me whether you want me to sign this to you, or if you want to give it as a gift to someone, I can sign it and use their name to do that. So I'll do that for you. And another little thing that I'm quite excited about, this is my phone, which I dropped practically within the first week. I got it and damaged the screen, and then got that sorted and dropped it again. And my family was saying, get a phone cover, get a phone protector. So I did, but I didn't just get any phone cover. I got this one, and I'm going to include one for you. So what it says on there is, do happy stuff. Here it is, do happy stuff and fluff. Because as we know on this channel, it isn't about being happy or becoming happy, it's about taking action and doing happy. And this phone case is going to remind you to do that. So that's a phone case for it's an i6 phone case, and again, if you don't happen to have that particular phone but you know someone who does, it will come in very handy as a nice little gift. So that's the giveaway. So again, happy birthday, happy stuff and fluff, and here's to many more of them. All I want you to do in order to be the winner of the giveaway is to tell me which of the videos over the last 12 months, and you have over 52 videos to choose from, or any specific thing that I've said or you've learned, or you may have a favourite single video. Tell me about that in the comments below and we'll choose which one, and you will get those 3 things. Okay, so that's choose either a video that you've particularly liked over the last 12 months, or something specific that I've said that's resonated with you, or that was your favourite, or that helped you in any way. Tell me about it, and we'll choose the winner. Okay, so I'm delighted to still be here 12 months later, and as I say, I hope to be here 10 years down the line. Okay, till the next time, remember that on the Happy Stuff and Fluff, we are getting happy and growing younger. Thank you so much for watching. You know I appreciate you. See you next time. Bye-bye.